in makeup. Well, it's just stayed in a little time warp of its own in a way. It's obviously had to move forward with the technical side of everything to get past emission laws and stuff like that.
There was a lot of sort of hand craftsmanship that was there, but a lot of it wasn't really needed. You know, today, you know, a lot of the things that we do, if you go in the factory and watch someone put in a rolled edge on the, say, the spare wheel or back panel of the car, you know, that's not changed, and that's the real craftsmanship, where you're doing things like that. So as long as you maintain those unique little things that we do, it's fine.
The technology is there and driven by the mainstream. I think the way we adopt that with the craft, I think gives a really good rounded opportunity for any trainee, whether young or old. I think today gives you a real opportunity to embrace both the old and the new.
One of the most rewarding things for me is introducing the new technologies and new techniques that I've learned and applying them to the way Morgan build cars. And it's just such a unique fusion of design and manufacture that you don't find anywhere else. It's really nice to be inspired by the way these guys are building cars when I'm drawing my own.
77 I started, so it's a long time, 36 years, something like that. And I learned most of my trade through the older chaps who worked before. When I came here, there was a lot of old school chaps still who worked here in the 40s and 50s and 60s, and I tried to learn as much from them as I possibly could. And so their skills I've gathered now, and I'm trying to pass those on to the apprentices who are in the factory now, in the shop now. Hopefully they'll listen to what I'm saying.
It's funny, in the few years that I've been here, I can't believe the amount of people that come through that door, visitors, and say, I've just bought my 8th Morgan, I've bought my 9th Morgan. It's a brand that once you've bought a Morgan, it's a lifestyle, you know, it's a lifestyle that you become part of, and it gets ingrained into you, really.
You get to meet a lot of the customers as well, which is cool, and the enthusiasm they have for the cars really sort of, I don't know, rubs off on you, I guess. And to see them get excited about what we do, it excites, you know, me about what I do, which is really cool. And I get to do a lot of the development work as well, so I get to do different things and show cars and stuff, so it's not always the same. When I started, there were a lot of the older generation still working here, which was really cool to sort of meet them and get a lot of their knowledge, I guess, and stories as well. They had a lot of stories to tell. I think they seemed to do a lot less work back in the day and a lot more messing around, which is cool.
We've had several kind of social things over the years. The football match between the old ones and the young ones was an annual event. We didn't have much money in those days. We made our own cup. Had a solution tin, put a pair of handles on the side and a wooden base from the carpenters, and that was the annual Roll Stool contest. Locked away in my locker. Just as someone said, throw that out.
Going down, I hadn't long started, I think it was about the first week. Went down through the factory and through the paint shop, and as I walked through I realised that there were people sort of all stood around in various places in the paint shop there, and then someone shouted, "Come on, get out of the way!" And I realised that they were having a game of cricket, so I ran through and couldn't believe it.
Prince Charles coming to the factory, that was pretty amazing. I didn't really think it would be, but then when he was here, to see him in person, yeah, that was pretty amazing, I'd say.
They used to do lots of things to apprentices then. It was part of the ritual. I was at the stores for at least for 15-20 minutes one day, just put in the corner asking for a long wait, so the chap just set me to stand over there. So I did have a long wait. But those are just little things which were funny at the time.
Back in the early days of the three-wheelers, and you know, there's all this history that's been generated, and you know, you're just carrying that on. You know, we've probably got a lot to live up to, actually.
We're going to be doing a really exciting project that that celebrates everything that's been going on at Pickersleigh Road, strips it right back, and it's just a very honest, really fun car, and that to me is what Morgan's all about.
A passion for the brand, you know. You've got to feel it, you know, you do feel it when you love something, you feel it.